Hello there, welcome to Bringing the Thunder. My name is Emily and I'll be your host for another exciting MediaOps kata. I don't know if you watched the previous ones. If you have not yet, I highly recommend them. If not, if you're just interested in today's topic, feel free to join immediately. With me, I have again a host, Michiel. Welcome. It's not the first time you have been next to me. We already did some sessions before this. But maybe very briefly, can you introduce yourself for new people in the community?
So I'm Michiel Salen. I'm a solution architect. I've been at Skyline for almost 10 years now. And I'm mainly working now on MediaOps, which is what we are trying to explain here in these sessions.
Yeah, indeed. We already saw, I think, 3 sessions before this, and we already did some exercises. Maybe quickly a recap, what did we do already so far?
So in the first exercise session, we saw how we can create resource pools and that we should use a resource pool more as a functional block because those can be later on used in our workflows, which is going to be one of the later sessions that we're going to cover.
Yeah, so those were cameras that we added to our pool, right?
Yes, so we created a pool, camera pool, that represents then the function camera. And then inside of that camera pool, we created 2 cameras. And then in the next session after that, we started to assign capabilities on our cameras, which resolution they can support, 4K or 8K. And then we could select the right camera for the job. So we could select 4K or 8K and see which cameras can actually support that video resolution.
Okay, so those capabilities are really enhancing the pool, the resources we already had there, and make it very specific to continue.
Yes.
Okay, last time you already gave a sneak peek, you mentioned people are important as well.
Yes, indeed. So today's topic is going to be people and organization. So we have a dedicated app to create organizations, people and teams. Okay. And we're going to see how also we can then make one of those teams bookable. So in our case, we're going to create a camera crew. And then inside of our camera crew, we will have 2 people, you and me.
Okay.
And then we will be responsible to operate the cameras. So we're going to ensure if we book a camera that there is also a person booked to operate the camera.
Okay, great. So for the community following along, they can do so if they go to mediaops.dataminer.services, correct?
Yes. So you can install MediaOps from the catalog, or you can use our demo system, which is publicly available for everyone that has a DataMiner.services account through mediaops.dataminer.services. And there you can log in. Keep in mind, this is a public system, so everybody can manage resources on there, can also interfere with the things you're doing. And I also had to recreate my resources from the previous session because they were removed. Every Sunday there is a cleanup of the system to reinitiate the system to a clean state.
Yeah, okay, but we highly encourage you to play around with the demo system. It's all right if you accidentally maybe remove them, it gets reinitiated every week.
Yes.
All right. And then you mentioned a second way of playing with MediaOps, and that was from the catalog, right?
Yes. So if you have your own system, you can also deploy MediaOps to your own system. I would suggest doing that on a staging system if you want to play around with it. But in theory, you could also deploy it to a production system if you really want to use it for your day-to-day operations.
All right, great. Let's immediately dive into it. So if they go to MediaOps dataminer.services or from the catalog, they'll see 4 apps, if I'm correct.
Yes, indeed. So if I return here, you will see here the applications. And then inside of the applications today, we're going to cover people and organization. So if I open that application, you will immediately see the first page, which already on our demo system has some people inside of it. And then if I open here the hamburger menu, you will see that we also have a teams page and an organizations page.
All right.
So today we're going to start with creating an organization. So if I go to the organizations page, I can create a new organization. And you can create organizations in the system for your own organization, but also for external organizations to which you can also link then for booking your jobs to say, okay, this is actually the external company that ordered this job, and then you can somehow link also contact information of that external company to your jobs.
So these organizations are really just self-managed, whatever organization you like, you can add.
Yes.
Okay.
And today we're going to create a new one, and we're going to call our organization MSA. I'm going to use my initials again to ensure that it's unique for me, because other people can also create their own organization. And I'm going to call it MSA Corp. And I have the option also to select a category to say what this organization is about. I could say, for example, film and TV publishing studio. And then if I click on the save button, you will see that now my corporation exists, but it's still in a draft mode. In P&O, this is in a separate panel here, which immediately opens if I create a new organization. From this panel, I can then also activate it by selecting it and then activate selected, or clicking the activate all to activate all draft corporations.
Okay, so when you create it initially, it's always drafts, and then you have to manually activate it to ensure that it's
available for your operators to use it, indeed.
Okay.
So I'm going to activate the selected organization, and now I can see here I have my MSA corporation. There are 0 people at the moment inside of this organization. It is active, and it's for film and TV publishing studio.
Okay, I see details there as a separate column. What can you add as details there?
In the details here, you can open it up and you can edit members. So you can here click on edit members, and then add members or remove members as well. Yeah, that's something that we're going to do a bit later.
Okay.
Then the other one is the edit. That's basically to edit what we just saw. And in here, you can see everything is read only, so I cannot adjust it, but I can go to an edit state to adjust it. And then once I'm satisfied with my changes, I can activate it again.
Okay.
Now that we have our organization, we will start to add people to our organization. So I'll go to the people tab here, and I'll create a new contact. Here it's on the right top. And then I'm gonna say the first person is myself, so I'll add my name. Then the experience level, this is basically what level of seniority it has within the company. I'll say that I'm a principal, and then you could also add email details, phone, street address, city, and so on. The personal skills here is editable. This is because this application still uses forms. We're looking into later on using interactive automation scripts, but for now you could fill in something in there, but we advise not to do that here. That's because we cannot limit which fields are visible or not when you create a new instance.
And the goal is then later to have a drop down with some options to select some?
Yes, indeed. And the personal skills is something I'll show in a bit.
Okay.
So now that I filled in my details, my name, I can save. And then again, I will get this window where I see myself. For now, I'll leave myself in a draft state, and I'll create you as well.
No typos.
No typos. And your seniority, you can choose. You can be a manager if you want.
Sure, why not?
And then we can save you as well. And now I will see here, I have the 2 people again that I can select both with control.
And you just see those 2 because those are the only ones in drafts at this moment.
Indeed. And then if I would close this window by clicking next to it or whatever, you also have a button here on top to go back to the drafts. So then here on top you can click on draft, and then you will get this window back. And then you could click also activate all instead of selecting them all with control click, and then activate all will activate those people, and you should be able to find them back in the list here. So now if I go back to my organization, I can actually add the 2 persons I created to this organization. And then by clicking here on the details, edit members, I can search here for Emily, and I can add you and search for Michiel and add myself as well. And now you will see that our organization has 2 members.
You also indeed see that number 2 next to
yes, it has been updated how many people are or how many contact persons in that organization at least are added to the MediaOps application.
Okay.
So this was how you can create organizations and contact persons where you can fill in phone numbers and so on that can then be used by operators to be able to know who to contact or who is responsible.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward, creating an organization, creating members and adding them to the organization.
Indeed.
Okay.
One of the next thing that I want to show is teams. So we also have a team. So I can create under the teams page a new team, and here I will create our camera crew. So in this case, I'll fill in camera crew and I'll use again my initials just to be sure it's unique.
Yeah.
And then you could also have a team email address.
More details,
and
information.
Indeed, again, the team skills. I would not use that here, but we can come back to that. So now if I save this, again, same exercise, draft state, I can select it, I can activate select it, and then I should see that I have here my MSA camera crew.
And maybe, they mentioned the draft state and the active state. What's the impact or what's the difference?
As long as it's in a draft state, it will not be there available for operators. From the moment it's in an active state, it will be available for operators to use.
Okay, good.
So now here on my camera crew, again, you can see there are 0 members inside of it. So I'll add us again as 2 camera crew people.
Yeah.
So again, I can go here to the details, and then I can here on top again edit the members. I can search for Michiel, Emily, and now we have 2 camera people inside our camera crew.
Okay, so we're a team now, ready for action.
Exactly. So now if I want to be able to book us as camera people from the team's details page, you also have a button here on top, which is a toggle button. You can see it's now not bookable, this team.
Yeah.
If I click on this, I will get a message to ask, are you sure you want to make this team bookable? And I will say, okay. And then this team will be created as a resource pool. And then the people inside of that team will be resources within that pool.
Okay.
So now I can see there is a green check mark, it's bookable. So if I would go back to Resource Studio,
Yeah, let's have a look.
then might be that I have to switch pages just to refresh this one. And then I should
I see it there.
here indeed MSA camera crew, and you can see both of our names here.
Oh, wow. So automatically it's synced with the resource pools here and there.
Yes.
Okay.
You will see a slight difference with this pool compared to the others and the resources inside. They have slightly different color, and the pencil is not there to edit, and that's because that is managed through the P&O application.
Okay.
So if I would edit things inside of Resource Studio on you as a resource or me as a resource, and then in P&O I do a change, it could be that certain things are overwritten, and that to prevent that your changes in Resource Studio would be overwritten by the P&O, we disabled the edit so that you have to go through P&O to make the changes.
Yeah, okay. So people are managed by people and organizations.
Indeed, and that's why you can see that there is no pencil here.
Yeah.
Then something that I already mentioned was those skills. So if I go back to P&O, it is, we saw already capabilities. You can do something similar with people, and you can give people skills so that you can find people based on the skills they have. For example, you have a lot of data miner knowledge. I could create a skill data miner expert. So here on the top under people, you can see you have skills, and then here you can define skills that can be assigned to people.
Okay. And these are customizable? Or
Yes.
is this already pre-filtered or pre-filled in for you?
In this demo system, we have pre-filled things in there. You can add new skills.
Okay.
You can remove existing skills. Of course, if you remove existing skills that are also used on bookable teams, it might impact also your scheduling. So always be cautious on the actions you're taking.
Yeah.
But in our case, I can see there is actually already a data miner advanced skill. So if I would look here for Emily, I can say, okay, Emily has a personal skill, and I click here on the personal skill icon.
These are the same skills as we saw before, but now
Indeed.
selectable.
And now I can define, okay, you're a data miner, advanced, expert, administrator, and if I save this, then on your resource, those skills will also be added as a capability.
Oh, and later then can be used if you're looking for a data miner expert.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And that's how skills can be used to find the right people for the job.
All right, nice.
So now we created our camera crew with 2 people inside. So now I want to make sure if I book a camera that also automatically a person is assigned to operate the camera.
Okay.
So something that we saw in the previous session of Resource Studio was if we go into the edit panel of our camera here, if I click on this pencil, there is a section linked resource pools.
We skipped that the last episode. Now we'll see how it does.
So now if we click here at link, that means that from the moment we book a resource from the pool cameras, that automatically a resource from the linked pool also will be needed or will be automatically added when we add a camera.
Oh, okay.
So in this case, we're gonna say I need a link, and in this case, it's a MSA camera crew, and you can say resource selection automatic or manual, so that automatically a resource is selected if one is available. In our case, I'll leave it to automatic to minimize the effort. We're gonna assume we're always available to
I
book.
was going to ask what happens if there's no one available.
Yeah. Well, if there is no one available, you will only add the pool and you will see no resource is being selected. And then it's up to the operators to ensure more people in the camera crew are being added, or that someone else is being freed up from another job.
Yeah, okay.
So now if I save this and I go back to scheduling.
So that's our third app.
Here, and I create a new job. I'll just increase the time slightly, and then I'll say, okay, tentative is the default, and I'll create the job. And then if I click here on the pencil of my job that I created, I can create a new node from here or from the workflow section. And then if I select my MSA camera, I can immediately see there is also a link icon here, which indicates that there will be linked pools added as well when selecting this pool.
Okay.
And I could say, okay, I don't want to select my camera yet. I'm going to add it as a pool, or I could add a resource within by immediately selecting the resource and clicking the add resource button. But in this case, I added a pool, and immediately I get a message to say that there is automatically a resource added. In this case, I was selected, I'm the lucky man, to operate the camera. So if I now close this, you will see inside of our notes table, my MSA camera is here. It's still pool, no resources selected. I can also see that with the red hand here, that there is no camera selected yet, but there is also a linked, which is indicated here with the arrow, someone from the camera crew, which is Michiel Salem. And
that one was automatically selected.
Yes, and that's why you also see green check mark here to indicate a resource is selected.
Okay. Nice.
Yes, that was how linked resources work.
Yeah.
And one small detail here on linked resources is they will not be visible in the workflow section. So all the main nodes, you could say, the ones that you add directly to the job, will be visible in the workflow. So now I could add something after. So if I would add, for example, a video processor here, and I add here this one as a resource. You can see there is a red hand because there are some parameters needed. Then you will see this one is added, here one as a node as well.
Yeah.
And then I could also manually add linked nodes by clicking here and say I need someone to operate this. I'm now going to select someone from the camera crew. I see I'm no longer available.
You already have a job.
And I only have a concurrency of one. I can only do one job at a time. So I can select you, for example, as a resource to configure or operate the video processor.
Okay.
And that's how I can add linked resources manually as well into the job. And then, those are not available in the workflow section.
Okay. Yeah, but you do have the overview on top with all your nodes and linked resources to have a full overview.
Indeed. One thing that is also worth mentioning, I talked about contact persons and so on.
Yeah.
So in the job edit panel here on the left top, you will also see there is a button contacts. where you can add contact people. So you can add people from a specific organization, for example, someone from Amazon. I'm going to add someone here, just random.
And that doesn't need to be part of the crew. That's just somebody responsible for this job, let's say.
Indeed. And then if something goes wrong, we can see here there is a contact person with the email address and the phone number, which could be very handy then for operators to reach out to people if something goes wrong.
Yeah. Okay, nice. A lot of possibilities once you have those peoples in there.
Yes. So that's to add contacts. And then we have one more section where P&O comes back into scheduling. This is in the administration section. And this is typically used to say which organization is and which person is actually really the owner of this job, the main person responsible. And then here under the pencil, if I click this pencil, I can also assign, for example, Google. I'm also going to select just someone random. And then you can see there is a organization and a job owner assigned as the main responsible person.
Okay, yeah. All right.
That was a lot of information, I guess.
It's a lot of information, but okay, let's just recap. So first we went to people and organizations, right?
Yes, indeed.
So one of the apps of MediaOps.
Yes.
There we created our organization. We also made some people.
Yes.
We added those members into the organization.
Exactly.
And then we have our people on the organization.
That we can use to add them as contact persons or as owners of a job inside of the scheduling application.
Okay, but we also wanted to add those people to our job itself, and therefore as resources, and therefore we had to have a team.
Yes.
With the same members we had. We added those. We then assigned some skills to it.
Well, the skills were just to show what skills are about. But in our case, we created a team, we added the people, and then we made that team bookable. And that was the action that actually created the resources.
Automatically, it was created. We didn't need to worry about those. We just went to the Resource Studio to verify it was created.
Exactly.
And then we went to the scheduling to link with resources.
Indeed.
Okay. All pretty straightforward steps.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to explain, or did that cover?
I think that's already quite a lot to mention here on P&O and how that comes back into the other applications of MediaOps.
Okay. The community that followed along, if you followed along and you send us a screenshot of the exercise, we can award you some DevOps points. I don't know, Michiel, which screenshot should they send us?
They can probably send a screenshot of the notes table inside of their job where you can see that people were added as a linked resource.
Yeah,
I think
that's indeed a good verification that they followed the steps to have our people as resource. All right, so you take a screenshot of this with your notes, you send it to us with the usual address, and we'll award you some points. Okay, I think that was a great exercise. Of course, we're not at the end yet of our MediaOps series. Can you already give a sneak peek of the next one to come?
In the next session, it's going to be a shorter one. There we're going to talk about configuration parameters. So we already saw capabilities and capacities. Yeah. Those are things you can add to resources to basically say, these are the things I want to filter my resources on. So based on what you need and what the resource can do, you will get a filtered down list.
The 4K, 8K of a camera.
For example, or how much bandwidth you need on an interface that impacts your resource selection. If that capability or that capacity is still available on that resource, then you can select that resource.
Yes.
But configuration parameters are then more for operators to add information, for example, how to configure the device, which does not really impact the resource selection. For example, the center frequency that has to be used, or something else. In the case of a camera is a frame rate, which is what we're going to use in the next exercise.
All right, so configure parameters up next. I hope you enjoyed this session, and we see you in the next one. Bye!